Greetings, Bill Clinton. I am watching the Ministry of Propaganda. You are like, share and subscribe. You must.
Good evening, folks. In line with this week's episode on the coronation of King Charles III, the Lord himself has bestowed upon me the humble title of the Right and Honorable Knight of the Order of the Thistle, Richardicus Nixonium, Victus Bellorum Indochina, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the seas. You can stop kneeling now. I accept your submission and sovereignty. Now let's start with some international news. Of course, in the UK, the Brits had themselves a coronation of King Charles III, the first in 70 years. But who cares about the cost of living crisis, right? It was a spectacle nonetheless. And our hosts will have more of this in a moment. Moving on to Sudan, 2 weeks of fighting have reignited violence in Darfur. There have been evacuations of civilians aided by Saudi Arabia and tentative ceasefires across the country. It's still a messy situation, folks. Now, let's talk about Russia. Russia accused the Ukrainian government of orchestrating a drone attack on President Putin's official residence this week. Video was released of 2 drones exploding over 2 parts of the Kremlin. And just to add fuel to the fire, Prigozhin, the leader of the mercenary company Wagner, released a profanity-laced video complaining about not having enough ammo to finish the fight in Bakhmut. Meanwhile, Ukrainian soldiers are gearing up for a spring offensive. They're under pressure to show success in boosting morale, shoring up Western support, and reclaiming stolen territory. Good luck with that. Over in the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son of a dictator, began a visit to the U.S. The White House has been cozying up to him as a regional ally, sending a message to China. How's that for American values, huh? And speaking of American finances, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned that the U.S. could run out of money to pay its bills by June 1st if lawmakers don't reach a deal on debt. Great. Last but not least, 4 members of the Proud Boys, including their former leader, were convicted of sedition for attacking the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, 2021. Big whoop. Last week, the South Korean president visited the U.S., but it seems that his foreign policy of aligning his country more closely with the U.S. and Japan has deepened the misgivings of the South Korean public. Can you blame them? The South Korean government was only just this week found guilty of justifying and encouraging the prostitution of South Korean women, or so-called comfort girls, to maintain its military alliance with the U.S. and earn American dollars. Is there even a word for government-scale pimping? Not a good look, folks. Moving on to other news, Ding Liren won the World Chess Championship, a first for China. And, in a rare show of unity, the UN Security Council condemned the Taliban's treatment of women. About time they did something right. In Paraguay, they elected a conservative economist as president, resisting Latin America's recent leftward shift. Meanwhile, a prominent Palestinian prisoner died after a hunger strike in an Israeli prison, and Palestinian leaders and armed groups are threatening retaliation. And finally, some news relating to artificial intelligence. Neuroscientists from the University of Texas, Austin, have developed AI models that can translate people's private thoughts without using implants, as if we don't have enough invasion of privacy already. And the godfather of AI left Google and warned of the technology's risks. But maybe he's being a little too alarmist, right? It's not like someone might mimic your identity, your voice, and make a puppet of yourself that ridicules you for all eternity. Well, that's all from me, folks. But please share, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. If you would like us to make any special episodes, please leave some comments below. You've been watching the Ministry of Propaganda, helping you think